Good morning, friends. I'm asking you or I'm telling you as a friends because I'm also one of you in ULI. I have attended several sessions, ULI, where I have be a student and somebody else is teaching. So I'm keeping myself a student in this life. I'm taking you through the journey of my experience as a recruiter. So Patel Sahibe થોડોક information આપી છે. I will give you some more information about myself. As it's mentioned, I was a BE Civil. 2-3 વર્ષ સિવિલ એન્જિનિયરિંગનું કામ કર્યા પછી ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટી મળી મિકેનિકલ એન્જિનિયરિંગની કંપનીમાં પરચેઝ એન્જિનિયર તરીકે કામ કરવાની અને એ ઓપોર્ચ્યુનિટીને મેં ઝડપી લીધી અને ત્યારથી નક્કી કર્યું કે હવે આમાં કામ કરવું છે તો આમાં કઈ રીતે પ્રોગ્રેસ કરી શકાય. સો આઈ કેપ્ટ માય સેલ્ફ લર્નિંગ. અમુક ડિપ્લોમાસ કર્યા, MBS કર્યું અને એ રીતે 30+ યર્સનો હવે એક્સપિરિયન્સ થઈ ગયો છે અને એક પરચેસ એન્જિનિયરથી એક CEO સુધીની જર્ની મેં આ દરમિયાન પૂરી કરી છે.
If I interrupt,
Yeah.
tell students, please know first thing what he has talked about is keep learning.
Yeah.
So many qualifications, so the learning or the education does not end when you graduate or postgraduate, but he has very clearly said how many more degrees he has added. And the second important thing he listed is grabbing an opportunity. Do not worry, do not think of remaining only a civil engineer. And
Right.
he grabbed an opportunity.
Yeah. So in fact, when I had become a CEO and the era was changing towards digital marketing, so 2 years back only I had to undergo a training program, rather a certification course of a digital marketing also, so that I can help or guide to my team of digital marketing. So as we know, the life is a school we actually never graduate from. So we are always a student in the school of life. And that's my philosophy basically. In last 13 or 14 years, we have achieved a 23% CAGR, compound average growth rate. જે કોમર્શિયલ સ્ટુડન્ટ્સ હશે એ લોકોને ખબર હશે CAGR ટર્મ. એન્જિનિયરિંગમાં કદાચ ના ખબર હોય, પણ યર ઓન યર જે ગ્રોથ કહેવાય એ છેલ્લા 13-14 વર્ષથી અમે 23% કરી રહ્યા છે.
One second, Nilesh, right?
Yeah, sure.
I will mute everybody and then you may unmute, huh? Nilesh,
Yeah.
You may unmute, Nilesh.
Yeah, I'm audible?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So I have become kind of a leader and motivator now, because I am not actually now doing the physical work or anything. My team is working and they are giving me the results. So I have to motivate them. So I have become kind of a leader and a motivator. Currently I have been traveling more than 20+ countries, and we are dealing with 40+ countries for our products. Now why I can be heard to be employable. So in my journey of 30 years, probably I have recruited more than 200 people from GET level to maybe a senior manager levels also. અને જો હમણાં કોવિડની સિચ્યુએશન કહીએ તો છેલ્લા 1 વર્ષમાં ઘણી બધી કંપનીમાંથી લોકોને છૂટા કરવામાં આવ્યા છે, જ્યારે અમે અમારી કંપનીમાં લગભગ 24 જેટલા નવા માણસોને એડ કર્યા છે. So this is a brief information about myself. And my company is, as Patel said mentioned, is a manufacturing equipments. It's a mechanical engineering kind of company, but serving to chemical and processing industries like food, pharmaceuticals and all. So we have connection with several other industry as well. So what I will be covering in this session today Now, some of things you might have heard through AB sir under personal branding also. So it might be a repetition, but as we know, repetition is the mother of all skill. So let us understand that things. So first I'll be touching upon what are the pros and cons of job versus employment, or entrepreneurship, so startup kind of things. At this stage, you might be thinking whether I should start up a business kind of thing or should enter a corporate world. So a little bit about pros and cons. Then what actually the recruiters are looking in employees or candidates is the attitude, skill, and knowledge. So ask triangle, which is known as ask triangle. So I'll tell something about this ask triangle. Then there is another aspect called PSD. So while selecting the job, you have to review about PSD. I'll give you some brief about that. Now in the current era, which are the skills one should sharpen to become a more employable? Now, all the skills may not be required by all the people, but looking to your interests, you can sharpen your skills in that era. So I'll be covering some of that. Social media is giving the impact on employability. So I'll be touching upon that aspect. What should be your profile on the social media kind of things. And at the same time, what should be your profile and things on the social media, how your digital profile actually impacts on your employability or a business to that matter. How can you then use the social media for being more employable? So I'll give some tips about that. Now, after this, you can be at a stage where the people may ask you to send your CV. Now, what should be the things covered under CV? A small tips about that. I will cover that. Then the main thing is the tips for the selecting the opportunity of the employment. It is related with that PSD understanding I will be sharing. And then finally, some of the tips, how you can face the interview. So these are the few things I'll be covering in this. I hope this combination of English and Hindi and Gujarati is okay. So first and foremost, we have to decide whether we want to select a career in a corporate or go for a startup. So whether you want to be a job creator or you want to be a job seeker, you have to choose it wisely, right? Each has its own positives and negatives. And if you evaluate properly, you can build your career in future very well. Patel sahab, આ સ્પીડ બરાબર છે કે થોડું સ્લો કરીને કઈ?
No, you are doing exceedingly well. Perfect.
Okay. Okay, fine. Thanks. Yeah. So you have to evaluate the pros and cons of going to a business or startup or going to a corporate world, right? So I'll share some of the things about these pros and cons. Now, if you do your business, then you are your own boss, right? So that's the benefit. But at the same time, all the risk is yours. And if you go for the corporate, then whatever risk you are taking, it might be okay because you are not the boss, but then you are working for somebody. So success of yours will actually gain a benefit to somebody else because they are taking the risk, right? In the startups, you can have a lot of multiple responsibilities doing by yourself. But at the same time, you don't have a formal training available. So there are chances of making some errors also. Now, if you have an attitude of learning from your mistakes and keep on working, then you can be a successful there in a startup also. But if you don't have that kind of passion or risk-taking ability, then you may choose to work in a corporate where you can be surrounded by domain experts. You have ability or a possibility, opportunity to get trained inside the organization, sometimes outside also. But then you are stuck up sometimes in a crucible, and the corporate bureaucracy can also affect your progress in the growth. Now you can have combination also. Like initially you can go for the job to get some experience, and then you can do your own startup, which is a lot of people are doing also. So you have to make a proper choice of these things when you are considering your career building, right? Now, once you have decided that you want to be employable or you want to go in the corporate world, now then question comes, what the recruiters are looking in a candidate. So here comes that ask triangle. Ask means attitude, skill, and knowledge. As mentioned here, the skill and knowledge can be hired, but attitude cannot be. Now, if you look at the image and see if there is a candidate A who has a skill and a knowledge and a good attitude, he can form a good impact like a triangle shown. But if there's a candidate B, now he may have the same skill in same knowledge like the candidate A, but if doesn't have the right attitude, then his impact on a recruiter would be smaller triangle like B. At the same time, if there's a candidate C whose attitude is found much better, much bigger, even though his skill and knowledge could be less like A or B, still the chances that the recruiter may select C because the C candidate has attitude for learning. That is what we are looking for as a recruiter, whether the candidate has an attitude of learning, has an attitude being a team player, has an attitude with a solution frame of mind, or he's a part of problem or is a part of solution. Does the person has an attitude of creativity? How creativity and imagination is demonstrated? So these are the few things which has been considered by a recruiter at all the levels. It is not only at the entry level, but even at the higher level also. Because sometimes you are hiring at a higher level from a different segment of industry also. Like somebody say is in processing industry and now coming to a manufacturing industry at a higher level. So again, there also the skill and knowledge can be slightly different, but if the attitude is there, now the person can have a more chance to get selected. So friends, I would recommend that you evaluate what is your attitude towards all these things like learning, team building, solution orientation, or creativity, innovations. And if you feel that there is a need to improve it, I think you have to work on it. Self-development things are available like ULI. You can always be in touch with ULI. I'm sure HT Patel sir or AB sir can guide you more on this also. But make sure that you have the right attitude, right? Patel sahab, anything you want to add here?
મને તમારી બે એક વાત તો બહુ ગમી.
Right, sir.
So lifetime learning, that sentence, I'll pick it up from the video recording,
Yeah,
which is a very good statement which you would like to tell to the students.
yeah,
અને જે બીજી વાત કરીએ, of course, the importance of attitude.
right,
And as you are saying, in the organizations, we do not require people with extremely good academic knowledge,
right,
because many times we do not require in the job very, very precise that technical knowledge, unless you are in an R&D or in that kind of precise job.
right.
સાથે મળીને કામ કરી શકો.
Mm.
પ્રશ્ન તો બધે જ હોય છે, પણ
Correct.
પ્રશ્ન સોલ્યુશનના ભાગ બનીએ, કેવી રીતના રિઝોલ્વ કરીએ, આ
Yes.
જે વાત કરી,
Yeah,
that is something which is important. So most important thing I think you have highlighted is that હવે આ સ્કૂલ કોલેજમાં નથી શીખવાડતા, બરોબર,
absolutely right.
but you understand the organization like Yuvalai, or there are books, there are people, if you interact, you will know this thing. આજે આપણે નિલેશભાઈને સાંભળીએ છીએ. So he is making this point very clear. કે સ્કિલ નોલેજની સાથે એટીટ્યુડ ખૂબ જ અગત્યનું છે. At times we put more weightage on attitude because
Yes.
એવી જાતની જોબ હોય જ્યાં બહુ જ ટેકનિકલ નોલેજની એટલી બધી જરૂર ના હોય એને તો એટીટ્યુડ જ વધારે કામ કરવાનું છે. So I think these two things that you have talked about are wonderful.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So this is about what actually the recruiters are looking in a candidate. Now, the next I'm sharing is what you have to look into before you consider yourself as a employable or business. So that is called PSD. Now, P stands for passion, S stands for skill, and D stands for demand. Okay. All these three are very important and required. Now, this diagram, if you see here, okay, shows that if you have a passion and you have the skill, but that skill or passion doesn't have demand in the market, then it's an unsellable hobby. It will be difficult for you to survive. If you have passion, there is a demand. But if you don't have the skill for that, then again, that's an unsuccessful business or unsuccessful career. And if you have skill, there is a demand, but you don't have the passion, okay, then it's an unlovable job or unlovable business. You will get frustration. So ideally, you need all the three. So first and foremost, before going to the career things, you have to identify what is your passion. It might be difficult to identify, but you can take help of your friends, your parents, your seniors, or people like Patel Sahab or anybody similar people. Discuss with them and see, they can suggest you or looking to your activities and all, what could be your passion. But first thing is you have find out the passion, because if you go with the work where your passion is, actually you are not doing any work. You will loving that because you are enjoying that. So there's no boredom in that. And then you have to identify whether that passion has a demand in the market. And if that is there and you don't have the skill, then develop that skill. So if you select a business or job that matches your passion and your developed skill and does have the demand, then obviously you can be a successful in your career or in your startup. So hope this gives us some inputs about both the ends of the table, like as a recruiter, what is being looked for, and what as a candidate you should be taking care of while selecting your career.
This is a good tabulation, Nilesh bhai. And everybody has to create a sweet spot for themselves.
Yes, true. Yeah. So now let us understand what are the now skills one need to sharpen in the current era, industries or the economy going through. As we know, it is more of a digital kind of things now. So one most important thing is your emotional intelligence. Now IQ, that's your academic, can get you the first entry in the job. But if you don't have very good emotional intelligence or your EQ is not good, it will be difficult to maintain that job, to work with the other colleagues, and you get a frustration. So entry level IQ is definitely important, but at the same time, if you work on your emotional intelligence, it will help you, to demonstrate your ability for becoming an employable, right? But if you want to further progress in your cadre, then the SQ, that is the spiritual quotient, is also very much important, right? Now next is adaptability and flexibility. Now one has to be adaptable and flexible because there is a lot of changes are happening so fast. Some of the jobs which we were considering earlier has now been obsolete. Now if we stick to that, then it becomes difficult for us to survive. The opportunities will come up very quickly. And if you are adaptable, you're flexible, and you keep yourself learning, you can take advantage of that. So this, the skill of adaptability and flexibility is again very important things. Critical thinking is another area a skill required, because if you see now, a lot of decision makings are actually done by artificial intelligence or computers, but still there are a lot of things where computers can't help you, okay? And the human mind has to find out some solutions. Now, if you have the ability of critical thinking, you get an advantage in your employability. So you have to develop that thinking, or critical thinking rather, that skill. Next is obviously a tech savviness, because the technology is changing so fast. I mean, till last year, if you consider before COVID era, nobody was thinking about Zoom meetings and all those things, doing the business. But now that has become a new normal. Now those who cannot become the tech savvy with this are suffering. And those who have developed that skill, developing the new technology awareness themselves and learning to use those technology, they are getting a benefit of these things. So you have to sharpen your tech savviness. The data literacy and coding. Now coding cannot be for all. Only few can have that skill developed very well. But data literacy, basically data literacy, what does it mean over here? Main is the technology is giving you a lot of data. Now, do we have that analytical skill to get the literacy from this data and then make some decisions based on the data available from the system? So that data literacy, to read the data, is the skill now required. If you're going for the software type of business, then the coding is also very important. But sometimes basic information of coding can help you to deal with the software people if you want to in future get some app developed for your business. So a little bit of that, not very detailed if you don't want to go that route as a career. But if you want to go, then coding, like a lot of languages. I mean, I think when I was in the college, we were being taught the Fortran language. Now, I don't think that Fortran is anywhere applicable right now. There are so many other computer languages have been available and better for coding. So these are the few things, again, you need to sharpen depending upon your choice of career. Skill of creativity and innovation, which I also mentioned earlier also, in what we look for, an attitude of creativity, attitude of innovation. If you are not innovating, we will be obsolete very fast in the so fast changing era. And hence we have to develop the skill of creativity, develop the skill for innovations. And when you work with such kind of creative people, creative groups, you can get that skill developed. Now, normally what has been said is that you are average of 5 of the group. Now, if you are the best in the group, your actually average goes down. But if you select the group where the other members have much more skill, better creativity, better innovation things, or whatever, then actually you can improve your average by staying with them. So remember this, you are an average of 5. And if you want to improve your average, you have to be with the people who are higher in the skills than yourself. The leadership skill is everywhere it is required. Whether you are working as a janitor, or you are working as a CMD, you are working as a prime minister or a mayor or a sweeper. You have to see yourself as a leader in your role. That skill will help you to progress in the ladder of the career. And there are a lot of literature, videos, audios, podcasts available on leadership. And of course, the ULI also helping all of us to improve our leadership skills. And once again, the skill of lifelong learning attitude is very, very important. Unless and until this skill is harnessed, it will be difficult to progress in the coming era or coming future, because changes are happening so fast. I mean, before we believe, the change happens. So once you have understand these skills, importance of these skills, you start working on improving these skills. Now let us go to the impact of social media on employability. Earlier, if you consider, only the job portals were being referred by the recruiters. But nowadays, lot of recruitment options are posted on the social media also. So your profile on social media has an impact. Hiring managers look for candidates' social media profile. Why? Because it gives the information which is not actually revealed on the resume. Now, resume can be fabricated, but your image on social media, normally it is not fabricated, because you can't hide your true feelings on the social media. So social media profile is very important, and you have to be aware about your posts, your likes, your shares on the social media, because you are being watched by recruiters. They may find you from the job portal any job portal, but they normally checks the profile of candidate on social media like Facebook or LinkedIn or YouTube or Blogger, anything. So I'll share something more tips about what are the social media being used also. But my advice would be, try to avoid any strong opinion, and specifically on like religious things or any political things, because it might hamper you. Suppose if you have objected or given a strong say post about, say, for Congress, and your recruiter is pro-Congressy, then you minimize the chance of getting recruited there. Now there are so many other aspects also like that, so you have to be careful and evaluate all your posts from your employability point of view also.
Nilesh bhai,
Yeah, please, sir.
just to add here,
Yeah,
even US visa mate, they are asking your Facebook, LinkedIn, all accounts.
correct.
Give the under which name you are present on this. So look at, even if you're planning to travel abroad, even planning to
Yes,
take an
absolutely.
admission or a study there also it is going to become important. So social
Yeah,
media, how you use,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And it is, I mean, initial contact can also be developed by recruiter of a candidate through social media also, because it is fast, efficient, and cost effective also. Right. Now, sir, not only when you want to go to US, in fact, today only when I was talking to my son, no, so he said that even if you are not there on a social media when you are in US, you black out from the social media, that also put a question mark. So you have to be there on a social media, and you have to be watchful what you are actually posting on your social media. So it is both way. You have to be on social media, and you have to be aware what you are putting on your social media accounts.
I think very useful information that you have to be also, and at the
Yeah,
same time, so yeah, use it very judiciously, be careful about it. Yeah.
correct, correct, correct. And second thing is, no, use the social media basically to build your network. Now, whom you add in your network is also important. See, they also see, recruiter also see your profile, but at the same time, they also see your network, whom you are networking with, like your friends. So if they are like influential people you are connected with, the chances of your employability becomes more. So you have to be careful in adding the people also. Sometimes you might add somebody which is not no, a good character. If you find later on, then please unfriend that person from your social media. Like, now from the employability point of view, which are the social media being looked by? The most important is actually the LinkedIn, because that's the professional social media, for all the employer or employees to be there. So LinkedIn is very, very important platform or social media. Now, you have to have a very proper factual profile given on your LinkedIn. Give your proper contact details. Now, it is like your CV only. Your profile on your LinkedIn about yourself on this LinkedIn is a mini CV. So whatever you may have mentioned in your resume, but the recruiter will also look at your LinkedIn profile and try to see what is not been covered under your resume from there also. So full details and the factual information. Don't try to fool somebody which you don't know and you put it on there, may create a problem later on. Right. Now on the LinkedIn, as I think several times I have heard AV sir also saying that he accepts all the request, but जैसे उनको request किसी ने दिया और accept किया, the next day he gets a message that please help me to get employable or employ me. Now, it is not advisable to do that thing, because unless and until the person knows you in detail, how can he refer you? or how can he employ you? So my advice will be, once you send a request to somebody which is an influential person, try to develop a rapport with that person. Say you can like the post that person is putting, put a comments below that, share his posts, and thereafter you start chatting with that person, but not for the recruitment. You may ask some help for the subject, he is expert, and that way how you build a rapport. And then slowly that person may get some faith in you. And then if you ask, then there is a chance that he may employ you, or he or she may employ you, or may refer you to some of his contacts. Similarly, on LinkedIn, if you know, there are a lot many groups available. Now try to become a member in a group where you have the choice of the building a career. Like if you are looking for building career in pharmaceutical industry, for example, then select the groups which are related to pharmaceutical industries, and try to engage in that group. That will give you a visibility in the group. You can join the debates sometimes, or you can start a debate, put up question there, and you get an answer on through an experts. This is how you get connectivity and the visibility also. So this is one of the most important social media for the employability. But nowadays, these are the other platforms also which have been looked. And Facebook slowly is becoming kind of a combination of personal and business social media, right? So Facebook also, you can find a lot of such groups where you can again be part and start building a network there. Now Twitter is where you can openly share your views. So if you sometimes have shared something illogical, or say I don't like that, but still I will not mind it on the Twitter normally, because Twitter is considered as you share what you think, right? Again, Instagram, if you have seen right now, it is also becoming business savvy. I think third or fourth post on Instagram you can see is a sponsored ad. So that is also now, because Facebook and Instagram, it's the same group things. So they are now going towards business acumen more now. So you be careful again on Instagram also. Now, how can you use your YouTube and Blogger account for employability? Now you can start some audio or video post on your YouTube channels. Create a YouTube channel, start 1 or 2 minute audios or videos on the subject you feel you are having some better knowledge. Okay, you may not have the perfect knowledge, but when you post that with the hashtags like keywords, the chances of you being appearing in the search improves. And same is with the bloggers. You can, if you are not good with the say audio and video kind of things, and you are good at writing, then create your blogs. Create your account on a blogger portal, and then you can cross share your post on this all social media. So that will give you a lot of visibility, and that visibility can improve the employability. Now with this social media, I would like to share this slide where you can see what is happening in every 60 seconds online. In 1 minute on LinkedIn, there are 1,388 posts are being loaded. On Facebook, if you consider 31,25,000 posts are added or likes have been shared. On YouTube, if you consider in 1 minute, there's a 500 hours worth of videos are being uploaded. And on Twitter, in just 1 minute, 350,000 tweets are being shared. Now, this is all happening simultaneously. So you can imagine, and these are only few social media being shared over here. If you Google it, you will find the hell lot of other information. And that gives you that what is the internet is being used in the social media. So my advice will be is you can be wise in using your screen time, or you can be otherwise. You can spare time on watching the TikToks or Netflix movies, or you can spend your time on creating a network on LinkedIn or Facebook, or create your blogs or video on YouTube. So you have to decide how you want to spend your screen time. And as we know, our screen time is increasing day by day. Even during the lunch or dinner or on a meeting with friends, most of the time we are spending time on the screens rather than with our own friends and all. But else, you want to add something here, I think?
I was just, it is so addictive. I would say that many times we talk about the youth, but even for us, for that matter, we have to be careful. Otherwise, in the name of using these media for the purpose of, your primary objective can be your business, or let's say for URL, but in the process, you can sleep also.
Correct.
So, and so very rightly somebody has said, and you even said that you have to be there, but instead of those social medias using you, you use them for your purpose.
Absolutely.
Be careful. So they can be helpful provided you understand મારે આનો ઉપયોગ કઈ રીતના કરવો જોઈએ.
Correct. Yeah. So I mean, AB sir ઘણી વખત કહ્યું છે આપણને, if you're watching the TV, you're not being watched on TV. So you have to be careful on that. So
no, TV देखते हो, TV पे नहीं आता.
Yes. Right. So, okay, friends. So now, I mean, see, with all these things, you have made yourself say employable. Okay. Now it's the time where somebody will go for your CV. Now, what should be your CV and how they can find you through your CV? So where the keywords are very much important on your CV, right? Like keywords are important when we are searching anything on the YouTube or Google. We type a keyword only, and same actually the recruiters, when they search on job portal, they type the keywords. So your CV should have the keywords related to the career you want to build in, right? So that you are being seen on their search, and the chance of getting you picked is improved with all the other things we have discussed earlier, like your social media profile and attitude kind of things shown on the media and all those things, right? For example, if I give you, suppose if in my company, if I am looking for a fabrication engineer from an equipment manufacturing company. Now, if your CV has those words like fabrication, have a knowledge of fabrication, you have done some project of developing some equipment, then there is a chance that your CV will appear on my search. And then while going through your CV, then I may select you and call you for the interview. Other examples like graphic designer or content writer or say software developer, data analyzer. Now, these are the few things which has been looked for. Now, if your CV have something similar things covered under your resume, the chances of you getting picked is better. Now, these are all the hard skilled kind of things, but at the same time, the soft skill are also important. Like the leadership role you have done, you might be a monitor in your class, or a team leader in your project during the college, or maybe like UALA is organizing some events and you are kind of a coordinator there. So you can demonstrate there, and that will seen as your leadership skill, your teamwork skill. You can also mention something about communications also, like if you have done some blogs or you have created some video, you can share those links in your CV, which again gives how recruiter will see your communication skills or writing skills. So these are a few important things about having proper keywords mentioned in your CV. Now you may get this information, right? And once you write this this kind of keywords, so actually you are speaking the same language as the recruiter, but don't use the jargon which you don't know. Otherwise, it will affect you when you are actually been selected for interview and then been asked on that and you don't give a proper answer. So be factual. Now, you might got a CV selected and you may get or you may apply for something. Now, before that, I have mentioned about that PSD. So some research you have to do so that you can match your passion with your job area. You have passion, say, for manufacturing, and the recruiter is looking for designer, then probably it's not matching your passion. So you have to look for that, whether it is matching or not. Then you have to look, do research for the company profile which you are going or applying. Check for the history, stability of the company, so that you don't have to later on pachhtana na pade baad mein, right? See what are the leadership or learning opportunities available there. Now here I will say that whether you want to be a small fish in a big pond or you want to be a big fish in a small pond. In other words, if you want to join a big corporate giants, you are a small fish in a big pond. So it will take a hell lot of time to progress to a higher level, but the experience could be different. Whereas if you select a smaller company, then you can be a big fish in a small pond. So you have to select the learning opportunity based on your inclination. Then what are the growth opportunities it will have? And very important is culture of the company. Look for what are the HR activities being done, whether you find that culture matching your culture. If it is mismatch, you will frustrate later on. So these are the few things. And then most important is check the leadership team of the company. Like recruiter is looking for your profile on social media, you can also look for the leadership team profile on the social media and see whether that person is a visionary, has a growth history and all those things. And it will be better to work with those kind of leader than the otherwise. Now, after all these things done, you have applied and you have been selected. Now you have been called. So there are few tips now I am giving to look at during the interview or just before the interview. So now again, you have got the call, so you have to do your homework, research about the company again. Now earlier you have done for in general, but now more specific research about the products of the company, the market segment they are into, the future plans of the company, so that you can use those things when you are giving the interview. You have to, of course, dress well. Don't overdress also. For example, if you are going for, for say job for the maintenance engineer, now there you may not wear a tie, because there the expectation is that you will dirty your hand and clothes. But if you are going for a sales job, then you have to dress differently probably. So depending upon that, you have to dress well. Be punctual, of course, slightly go a little early, greet well, beginning and at the end. And you remember that first impression is last impression. Actually, we get only 7 seconds to create the first impression. So use those 7 seconds well by proper dressing, punctuality, greeting well, all those things. Now you can greet well to Pune, the receptionist, and the interviewers also. If you don't know answer, then confess it during the interview. Don't try to fool around. Now this is very important. Don't overlook your
Nilesh bhai. Hello. I think તમે
okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. So sorry for that. So basically, they are looking at you for your body language and judging you on that. So be careful, but be relaxed also. Don't get stressed on that. Okay. So you should be aware and be relaxed and calm when you are appearing for the interview. You have to stay focused, listen calmly to understand the question, and ask if you are not clear what has been asked. Don't assume anything. Just be careful. And if you are not clear, then again ask maybe 2 times also. Don't worry for that. Now, when you are going for interview, actually you are selling yourself, or if I'm going for interview, I am selling myself. So what is my USP? USP means unique selling proposition. Why a recruiter should recruit me, or why a recruiter should buy me? What benefit I will bring to the recruiter? In our marketing, it is called features tells, but benefit sells. For example, Vivo मोबाइल का फीचर बहुत अच्छा है, आगे का उसका कैमरा बहुत अच्छा पिक्सल का कैमरा है, but that's a feature. But what's the benefit? Is that it gives a very high quality selfie. So that's the benefit. So you have to find out what are your skills, which is a feature for yourself, and what benefit it can give to the recruiter. So if you can talk about the benefit it can bring, like you have done some projects and you have done your research with the company, and you feel that your research can help company in developing something like that, then you can share that way. So this is what you need to consider on these things. Now you have to always remember, the interview been conducted in the movie Three Idiots. I think you all remember Raju Rastogi. The way he had appeared in the interview, had shown his attitude, was factual also, shown his attitude also, and made himself a really employable things. So learn from that kind of things from your movie. If you are watching a movie, don't just watch for entertainment. Watch, know what you can learn from it also. Now, with this, actually, I have given you a lot of tips. But before I conclude anything, I would like to share a little story kind of things, not a story, but a life incident of this young lady called Jade Hemisphere. Now, she is a polar explorer, TEDx speaker. She is the youngest person to achieve the polar hat tricks. The polar explorer means exploring the poles of the globe. So she has explored the South Pole, the North Pole, and while doing so, she will have crossing the Greenland. So she is the youngest Australian lady. I think at the age of 16 years, last year or so, she has done this job, and that's why she had been called as a TEDx speaker. Now, after her TEDx talk, lot of male members on this Twitter or social media had trolled her by saying that, make me a sandwich. That means girls or ladies should be in the kitchen and not on doing all these things. Now that could be a very devastating statements, and you can feel disheartened, and you may react. Okay, but she has not reacted. Now she kept calm, and she worked to reply or respond to this people. What she did, you can see in this. She again went to the South Pole, spending 37 days, 600 kilometers doing skiing, made a sandwich there on the pole, took a photograph and posted on social media that I have made you a sandwich. Now ski back 37 days and 600 kilometers to South Pole and have your sandwich. You can Google her. So my advice will be to keep your mind calm during your interview. Let your attitude and passion speak for you. Thanks.